question? Unless,
I think so.
okay.
What was I gonna? I had a question that was, if I got a chance, I was gonna ask it, but I can't remember what it was now. Oh, okay. So, this is, I don't know if you ever experienced this because you might not have been up in Canada, but back in the 70s when Cheech and Chong got really popular, on their first record, they had a bit called Dave's Not Here, where a guy shows up and he's banging on the door, and the guy inside the apartment's going, "Who is it?" And the guy at the door's going, "It's Dave." And the guy's going, "Who? Dave. Who? Dave? Dave? Yeah, Dave's not here." And, like, it goes on for about 5 minutes, and finally at the end of it, he knocks on the door, and the guy inside goes, "Who is it?" He goes, "It's me, man, open up." And he opens up the door and says, "Hey, some guy kept coming by looking for you." So when that record got popular, my parents were living out in Rhode Island, and my dad was in the Navy, and he and 14 other guys lived in this big yellow house they called Big Yellow because it was yellow, and it was a rooming house. The little old lady owned it and rented it to all the guys, and they were all submariners, so it was 6 months on shore, 6 months on the boat. So for 6 months, the house was pretty much empty. And when my mom and dad got together, they were living in the house, so my mom's in this giant house, and then 6 months out of the year, she's by herself. It's just her and one guy's dog. So they got engaged and got married and moved out into their own apartment and weren't living, but they kept going back for parties. And every time they showed up, they'd knock on the door, and my dad's name is Dave. So it would be, "Who is it?" "Dave. Dave's not here, man." So they knock on the door. My mom goes, "It's Betsy." They open the door, pull her in, slam the door in my dad's face, and make him knock again. And I'm kind of wondering, did you ever have anybody do the "Dave's not here, man" bit with you?
No, I didn't. That would have been very, very funny, though. I remember that bit on the Cheech and Chong record, and yeah, it's now I feel deprived. Nobody ever did the Cheech and Chong "Dave's Not Here" on me.
When I was in high school, my brother and I found the record and played it. And of course, it's hilarious because it's just a funny record. And then my mom tells us this story. So now my brother and I can't listen to it without, laughing even harder because just the idea of my dad, the door in his face, literally, because he thought he was getting in this time. And it got to the point where he's like, "Well, I'm not going over there." My mom's like, "But it's a big party. These are all your friends." "No, I'm not going. They're not going to let me in."
Right. The only story I can match with that is my dad used to have a joke where if company was coming over, he would open up the door and they'd start to come in, and he'd go, "We don't want any," and close the door. And that used to be one of my favorite bits until the time that friends were coming over, one of them, a girlfriend of somebody, and buzzed up from downstairs, come up to the door to the apartment, and I opened the door and went, "We don't want any." And she stopped the door before I could close it, and she said, "You aren't getting any." And I went, "Oh, okay, trump that joke."
My grandparents, their house used to be, when I was a little, they had it for decades before I was born, but when I was a little kid, my grandparents lived in a house that it used to be a trolley station. Down near Milwaukee, they had a train that ran from Milwaukee down through the town my mom lived in, down to Chicago and stuff. And they converted the train station into a house. They expanded on it and stuff. But one of my mom's uncle or cousins had made and painted this really nice sign that says, "This building condemned." And my gave it to my grandpa as a gay gift for his birthday, and he hung it up on the wall for years. And it was one of those things, it was right behind the front door, so when you would walk in, the first thing on the wall that you would see is a sign that says, "This building condemned." And when my grandparents died, I inherited the sign, and I have it in my house above the front door, but nobody looks up, so nobody sees it.
Oh, well.
But it's one of those, I know it's there, and it's just, because I always thought that it actually came with the house, because I was a little kid, nobody really explained that, oh no, this is a gag gift that Grandpa got. I thought Grandpa had this sign because the building was condemned when they bought it, and then they fixed it up.
It's the gag thought that counts.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the lesson on that one. Okay, I got to run along. I heard the fax machine going, and I cleaned my desk, so that means the faxes are getting shot across the room today.
You know it's not a fax from me, so that's the good news.
There you go. There you go. That narrows it down. No, actually, just before we started the call, the faxes were starting to come in, and it is from Dagan James, so I'm sure he's letting me know that the Kickstarter is up and running. Okay, thanks as always, Matt.
Not a problem, Dave. One last really quick question. So I did this painting of Cerebus, and I don't know if I should keep it, send it to you, or sell it.
I would say, how big is it?
Like 8.5 by 11.
8.5 by 11, and it's a painting.
Yeah, it's an actual canvas. One of the stay-at-home things that Paula got was it's canvases, paints, brushes, and little ceramic stuff from this place in town that sells, you can go there and paint with a bunch of people. Well, they're not allowed to be open, so they're selling kits that, for kids that are staying at home, and Paula bought one for everybody. And it's like, well, what am I going to paint? And I'm like, wait a minute, I have to draw something for Please Hold. I'm going to paint Cerebus.
Well, I got to tell you, it faxed beautifully. So that may be the calling that you've been waiting for.
What, tracing images from you on my do-it-yourself light board, which is a really big window on the side of the house when it's sunny?
Yes, and then painting them, and then faxing them. The original artwork is the fax. I would be very pleased to have it for the Cerebus archive. We've got the Matt Dow box up and running at Camp David.
I apologize.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
That box is probably bigger than it needs to be.
I'm not sure about that. We'll see how that goes in the long run.
Well, the last I heard was Canada had closed the border to packages. If you find out you're getting packages, I will set it aside and it will come up to the archive.
Okay, that's...
I mean, if people see it and go, I want one of those, I will see how much canvases cost, and I will find a price that seems ungodly high to me, but is reasonable for everyone else, I'm sure. And I will start doing them and selling them and painting them, and each one's going to be different because I'm going to discover that, hey, you can't paint a background on this painting and have it look good. Because originally it was going to be, Cerebus in a room with burlap curtains behind him, and I got done with the burlap curtain and went, you didn't go far enough, and that's a big black line. Now you have to cover it with paint.
There you go. There you go. Okay, say hi to Paula and Janice Pearl and Natasha for me, and we'll do this again next month.
Will do. Talk to you then. Thanks as always.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, so if you really want a painting of Cerebus, I will paint one, but you got to give me money. And you have to offer me an obscenely amount of money, because this took me almost, 2 hours. All right, everybody. The Kickstarter is live right here. Cerebus #1. I'm going to hold it sideways so you can see. And it's a beautiful book. I mean, just look at how pretty that Cerebus is. And it's got all sorts of fun extras. Like here's the original inside back cover, and you can see how many pages are left. This is what you're going to be getting if you get the gold or platinum edition or one of the artist proofs. I mean, it's got everything you, a Cerebus fan, could possibly want. Let me see here. Like the first drawing of Cerebus, or actually the first drawing of Cerebus is, where is it? And then one more. Hold on. There's the first Cerebus. There's probably the second. It's got the Cerebus style guide. It's got Frank Thorne, which was the back cover to this Cerebus print. It's got the Berserker Cerebus. It's got behind the scenes stuff. And it even has Cerebus Returns, Cerberus in Hell, the zombies, and well, I don't know what this is. I mean, I'll have to hold this so you can't see the light. Give everybody a chance to read it and go, when can I give all my money away? All right, everybody. Thank you for holding for Dave Sim. Thank you for entertaining my kid. Thank you for